What's up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope you guys had a great Wednesday out there. Half the week is over. Before I get into this, I want to give a big shout out. Everybody keep Mark Rosales and any of the others that we have in our little community, family, that are down there in the south battling Hurricane Sally. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers, guys. Mark said it was pretty rough down there today. They got hit pretty hard, but last update, everything seemed to be okay. So I want to give a shout out to all those people. And I know JC, he didn't post it in the group, but I did see, I think it was 2 days ago or something, he had posted smoke, pictures of smoke. He's over, I believe, in Washington. So shout out to him. Keep those people on the West Coast that might be dealing with the fires and stuff as well. We're all a little family here, man, so we got to keep each other in our thoughts and hope everybody is safe and doing well. What's up, Mile High, Rick Moore, T. Shaw, Jay Michelin, Nathaniel, Connor? Hope school's doing good, man. What is up, JC? Yeah, I seen your picture, man. That was crazy. So hopefully everything is doing good over there. So I told y'all last night I got some mail day stuff coming up. I had thought about waiting until everything came in and doing it all at one time, but I realized I have bought a lot of stuff over the course of the past week, and I also wanted to touch base because this is stuff that y'all aren't used to seeing on Bobbles and Ball Cards. So I figured, you know what, let's do a part one. I'll kind of break it up as stuff comes in. Y'all are gonna be shocked. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about some thoughts I've had. Well, first I'll go ahead and show the cards. I'll go ahead and show stuff that's came in, and then I want to talk about kind of where I'm thinking right now. You guys know I've said it before, I try to think a step ahead. I don't really like to follow the crowd. I always try to be a step ahead, but I don't always hit the mark on that. Also, I'll say shout out to Guns. He's kind of inspired me a lot to go this way. With this thinking process. Jay Michelin, I talked to him a lot. He's gave me some tips on some stuff that'll be coming in. I don't have any of it yet. Some of it is stuff that I've just kind of went on my own and thought, hey, that would be cool to pick up. So yeah, this is stuff y'all are not going to be used to seeing on the channel. But after I'm done showing, I want to discuss some things with you guys. And just put a little bit of thought to you. JC, that is something I am actually going to talk about, but no, there is no Pokemon. But that's funny because I am going to talk about Pokemon, guys. So anyway, let's get to the cards. I have a few things in so far, but there is a lot more coming. When I say I bought a lot, I'm kind of surprised because I am not one that hits buy it now so often. Lately, I have been, screw it, I want it, click it. I haven't even been looking at comps, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. I haven't even been looking at comps because this stuff, comps doesn't. The comps are all over the board on it. You know, there. I hate to keep throwing this out there with the market tools, but there's no market tools to help you with this stuff. So, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, the first card is nothing out of the ordinary for this channel. I threw it in here because it came in, but I mentioned Trent Grisham, so I picked his rainbow foil up. So I got that in, but this isn't really what I'm talking about. Let's see, where do I start? I'll start with this one. So, first one, it's the 88 Bo Jackson. We all love Bo, but I see Bo talked about a lot with his baseball rookies. And I was thinking about it. This is a card that was very important in my childhood. You know, we all wanted Bo Jackson. And it's funny because after I bought this card, Guns had something in his video that was a reason this card was so important to my childhood. And anybody that is around my age would know what I'm talking about. And that is Super Tecmo Bowl. Super Tecmo Bowl. You had to play with the Raiders. You had to have Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. You had to play with the Raiders. About the only other team that was comparable would have been the 49ers. But so I don't ever really see this card talked about a lot. I have his 86 Topps baseball. And I was like, you know what? I got to get the 88. So picked that up. And don't even mind these because right here, in this kind of stuff, I ain't too worried about it. You know, I've said it. I've preached it before. Buy the card, not the grade. I've been maximizing picking up stuff. So, all right. Next up, 1966 Philadelphia Bart Starr. Now you might say, why did you buy this? This isn't his rookie. You know, what's so special about a 66 Philadelphia Bart Starr? Well, Mr. Guns likes to do story time, so we're going to do a little bit of story time on the 66 and why I chose that. 1966 was the first year that the NFL merger was in place. 1966, Bart Starr was the MVP. And 1966 was also the first Super Bowl in which the Green Bay Packers won and Mr. Starr was the MVP. So, no, I did not get his rookie yet, but I thought this card had importance because of the year, the player. You know, this is the first year of the NFL. So that's why I went with this one, and the fact it was $40, you know. $40 for a 66 Bart Starr, which I'll get into more later. But anyway, all right. Next up, I'm going to go this route. So, Drew Brees is probably a Hall of Famer, right? We all can agree that Drew Brees is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I was looking online because, well, you know, the Brees-Brady games happened and all that. And his Topps rookie is pretty sought after, really good, you know, holds some value. And I came across this, and this is actually the Topps collection. This isn't the actual Topps rookie, this is the collection. So I started looking at them, and I came across this. And it's going to be hard to show on camera. But this is the entire 2001 Topps collection set that has been in this binder, this dusty binder, since probably 2001. But at the price I got this for, this Breeze, I mean, it is sharp. And since I got the whole set, I got Steve Smith's rookie. Loved him. I loved his attitude. I loved his fight for being a little guy. Great wide receiver. Couldn't be any better of a player. Big heart, little guy. Loved Steve Smith. I've talked about Ocho. We got Ocho. Reggie Wayne. Can't forget about him. He was overshadowed by Marvin Harrison, but great wide receiver. So there's Reggie Wayne. What about the other Charger rookie? LT. And again, it's sharp. These cards literally have been in this binder. And they're perfect. And then someone asked if it had the Vic as well, and there's the Vic. So I was very shocked that being in a binder for so long, these things are like perfect. And what I plan, I do have these so I can grade them, but I don't plan to just grade them and sell them or whatever. I do want to keep the set, but I thought I'd pick these out, and I'll go over a little bit further on those. Well, actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and finish, and then I'll go over something with that. So next up, now, remember when I said last night, people might say, Bobbles, some of the stuff you buy is stupid. You know, why did you buy that? You know, it don't make any sense. This might be one of them. And the name is kind of messed up on there. But this is a guy. Can anybody tell me? This is Deacon Felipe. Now you're going to say, who in the hell is Deacon Felipe? I'm sure 99% of y'all will say, who in the hell is Deacon Felipe? This is the 1910 Deacon Felipe. It has the polar bear back. And it does, you know, it's not in the greatest. Guns, I'm going to let you copyright the whistle, brother. I'm going to let you copyright the whistle. But it's not in the greatest shape. Yeah, it's not a 10. It might get a It might get a 9. I don't know. We might pull a 9 out of it. Can anybody tell me who Deacon Felipe is? Because we got story time. I'm going to tell you first off, Deacon Felipe is not a Hall of Famer. And I don't know why. I've tried to figure it out, and I can't figure out why he's not a Hall of Famer. He pitched in World Series number 1 against Cy Young in 1903. And Pittsburgh won Game 1 of the very first World Series. Deacon Felipe beat Cy Young in Game 1 of the 1903 very first World Series. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. Since 1893, since the pitching mound moved to its current location, there has been no pitcher that has debuted in the major leagues that has a lower walks per 9-inning rate than Deacon Felipe. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. He played with Honus Wagner. He had 6 20 plus win seasons. Stat after stat after stat after stat you can read on this guy, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Now, I only know his name. I'm not going to sit here and say that's how much about baseball I know. I only know his name because I've been looking at things that kind of have a story. It might not be what everybody's going after, and I thought it would be cool to own the pitcher who won the first ever game of the World Series. Now, had it been Cy Young, my wallet probably would have laughed at me. Thankfully, Deacon Felipe beat him in Game 1. He actually had a 3-2 record. He is the only pitcher to have 5 decisions in a World Series. He still holds that record. In 1903, the World Series was actually a 9-game series, in case anybody didn't know that. So anyway, I thought it was something cool. I bought it raw because I paid $20 or $30 for it or something like that. And I got to give a shout out to Mrs. Bobbles. Before I do that, go look up Ryan Felipe, the actor, and Reese Witherspoon, because just another little addition to story time, Deacon Felipe was related down the family tree thing, to Ryan Felipe, and him and Reese Witherspoon's baby, they named Deacon after Deacon Felipe. So they knew who he was, and they named their kid after him. So, but a shout out to T206cards.com, because they also sent a Big League Chew, and the missus got so excited. So, shout out to them. A little bit more information that if you guys don't know, when I say this has the polar bear back, I never knew this, but there is about 40 different backs of the T206 cards. So it's just not all of these will be polar bear. There's actually 40 different backs to these cards. So some of them are very rare. Some of them are more, more available. The polar bear is kind of a mid-tier rarity. It's not super rare, but it's not super common. It was actually the only polar bear back I seen available. But there is approximately 40 different backs of the T206 cards. I have another project that I'm actually doing some research on that I think will be pretty cool if I can ever find a definitive answer on it. So stay tuned for that. Now, this next card, y'all might laugh at me. Y'all might laugh at me because this will be a first in Bobbles history. I bought a GMA card. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that right there? I bought a GMA card, guys. I have never done this. I've never bought a GMA card. Until today, I've never even held their slab. The reason I bought it, I ain't worried about that, because that's probably wrong. This was on my list. This was on my list of cards that I wanted. The Jim Thorpe 1955. I don't care about the slab. It actually, I bought it a few days ago, and I'm pretty sure this was the only graded copy on eBay. So, I didn't have a lot of choice. And this card is one that was on my list if you watched my channel a month or two ago when I did the top 5 from every sport that I wanted. I talked about this card. And I don't care about this plastic case. I knew it was a legit card. This corner up here is totally screwed, but I don't care. I bought it just so I knew it was authentic, because I am not that knowledgeable, and it's hard to tell on eBay if something is, authentic. So I did not care about that. Look. There we go. How about that? Is that better, guys? I don't have any tape in here. We could tape it up. But anyway, I wanted this card, and I didn't care. And I'm going to tell you, it was cheap. And I love cheap. So, a little bit more story time. This is stuff that y'all don't see me buy. And you might wonder, Guns, wait till the next one. Wait till the upcoming ones. Because, guys, I'm not fooling around. I got a lot more stuff coming. I've been having a lot of thought lately with the whole, we called the 80s and 90s junk wax thing. And when I looked back and thought back, like the mid 80s, I was thinking, I don't know necessarily that it was exactly junk. We talk about it was overprinted, We talk about, there was just too much out there. And maybe it was. But I thought about something else. Did we think there was so much out there because so many people stopped collecting? They got out of it, like towards the end of the 90s. They got out of collecting, so much of it was available for sale that it just looked like it was heavily overpopulated. Could that be attributed to some of it? Because when I'm thinking back, that Bo Jackson, between me and my buddies, we might have had like 2 or 3 of it. Between all of us. It wasn't a card that I had 30 copies of like I do today. I can go to the store, buy some packs, and I can rip packs, and I can get 30 of a guy. But I thought back, and it was like, that Bo Jackson, man, I remember not all of us, not all my buddies and me or anybody, we all didn't have one. So if it was junk wax, then why wasn't there more of them? Why today can I go get 30? And we don't call this junk. We give the excuse that more people are in the hobby today, that there's not even enough supply for the demand, and, all these crazy stories. And, maybe it was junk wax. Maybe it was overproduced. But as a kid, I didn't see it. We all didn't have 10 copies of an 88 Bo Jackson or a 90 Topps Ken Griffey Jr. or Frank Thomas. We just didn't have it. And then I had to think further. And I'm trying to build a collection that I can enjoy today and leave for my kids or for my grandkids. And don't get me wrong, I love modern cards. I love Juan Soto. I love Tatis. I love Lamar Jackson. I love these new guys. And I get the intriguing to it. But, like I said, I went on eBay and there was one Jim Thorpe that was graded available. One. And it was in a GMA case. If I go on eBay and I pull up Lamar Jackson or Luka Doncic or Zion Williamson or Trae Young or John Morant or etc., 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 how many copies am I going to find of a Gem Mint 10? Not even just graded, I'm talking 10. Probably enough that I could sit here for a bit scrolling. And then you got how many different colors, how many different parallels. When I go to look for a Bo Jackson and I type the year and the set, or go back to Bart Starr. Just type in Bart Starr rookie. There's not going to be 8,000 different brands and sets and parallels and everything else to choose from. And then you go look at the pop report of those guys. It's low. We talk about first to market in a PSA 10 drives the price, or, it's a low pop card. Well, what about these cards that are low pop, period? What about the ones that have zero Gem Mint 10s? I'm trying to think 20 years in the future, 30 years in the future. We are 25 years removed from the mid-'80s. So in 25 years, when we sit down and we get on eBay or whatever site is the popular thing in 25 years, probably eBay, it's been around for a while. Or actually, 25 would be the mid 90s. Go 35 years. Go 35 years. When we sit down in 35 years and we sit down to buy a card from 2020, what are we going to see? Are we going to have to search for a Gem Mint 10 when there's 3,000 copies of it? Probably not. Cards today, they get pulled out of a pack, they go into a sleeve, they go into a card saver, and they go off to grade. They go off to grade. They don't even sniff air anymore. They're in a sealed package, then they go into a top loader, they go into a card saver, and they get sent off. And then they get encapsulated. You know, there's like minimal chance outside of printing process that they're not Gem Mint. But I can look up some of this stuff, and especially some of the stuff that I have coming. There's 0 Gem Mint copies of it. So I just got to thinking, when it's my time to hand stuff down, or God forbid, you know, if the good Lord takes me away from here, is my kids gonna be excited to find something when they look it up that there's 1,000 copies of? That there's no rarity to it? You know, there's plenty of it out there? Or would they be excited to find, you know, 100-year-old Jim Thorpe? Or even in 35 years, we got, 67-year-old Bo Jackson? A 67-year-old Bo Jackson. And this isn't an 8. There's 10s of this out there. There's not, a dime a dozen of them. Or a, almost 100-year-old Bart Starr. You got that 1910, and that card is beat to hell. Don't get me wrong. That thing is beat to hell. But it's going to be old. And I think back because I see posts all the time of people say, "Oh my God, I found my grandfather's collection." Or you'll see PSA say they found a new attic find. And it's exciting. It's like news. It's big thing when people are finding this stuff. So if that's big today, then why wouldn't it be even bigger if my grandkids find cards that would have possibly been their great grandfather or great great grandfathers? This card right here, I look back at it, my grandfather was 21 years old. My grandfather was 21 years old. This would have been stuff he would have bought if he collected cards, because he would have been 21 years old. And people say nobody's going to know who these people are. Who cares? They're not going to know who these people are. There is always going to be history. Was I around in 1955? Hell no. Do I know who Jim Thorpe is? Yes. Do I know who Jackie Robinson is? Do I know who Ted Williams is? Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle? Was I around when they played? Hell no. Hell no, I didn't know who they were. But it's history. And history never goes away. So just because they aren't going to be the rookie of, 2055, the players will still be known. And that's why we have this thing called the Hall of Fame. You know, they're not going to start over, make a new Hall of Fame. You know, it's just something I've been thinking about. You know, I like the old stuff. I've showed y'all the 55 Hank Aaron. You know, I've talked about old stuff. Well, I made the transition to start picking some up. I don't know that it'll ever become to where you can't find something, but some things that I've looked up, it's very slim pickings. And if that gets less and less and less, then stashing these away to hand down will become more and more and more important. My daughter loves old things. And, you know, I think if she was to open a box of cards that I had stashed away and seen stuff like this, and keep in mind, there's more coming. I'm not giving any secrets, but there's more coming. I think she would be ecstatic. So, anyway, I want to just pull up real quick. Go over here. Right here is the 2001 Topps Football Pop Report for PSA. You can see right here, the pop on the regular Topps is $15.91. There's 398 10s. And there's less of the Topps collection total than there are of the regular in 10s. So that was another key factor of why I wanted to focus and snag that set. Because that is a pretty large difference, you know, right there. It's like nearly 7-1. So that is the 2001 collection Breeze. Here is what I was talking about with the Bart Starr. Card 88. There's 533 of that card graded. 0 10s. So, another card, I liked the fact it was the first year of the NFL. Again, 533 of them. So, I don't have the Thorpe up. I just pulled those two up. I think the Thorpe is around 1,100 PSA copies. Guns might know. But it's not like oversaturated on it. And it is an iconic card. It was always, I told y'all, it was always in the Beckett magazine when I was a kid. So it was on my list. I wanted to pick it up. Now, oh, guns, brother, I like looking and reading the stories on the back. You know, some of stuff that I've been looking at when the other stuff comes in. I'm gonna tell you all, it was funny because I'd sit here and read the cards before I hit buy it now. I would start reading the stories about the players before I hit buy it now. I love it. It's just cool, man. So, I mentioned in the beginning when JC said something about me buying Pokemon. Since so many people want to invest, you know, per se in things, I had a thought the other day. Another thought. I was always harsh on Pokemon because I don't understand it. I don't know how the cards gain value. I don't know what the characters can do to increase their value, that sort of thing. But I got to thinking about it. If you look at how the sports card market, why it's blown back up, because so many of our, I don't want to say middle-aged, but probably anywhere from 30 to 45-year-olds that collected back when they were a kid, they got that itch again. And they got back into cards. Pokemon, if I am not mistaken, came around in 99. I remember my brother collected them around that time period. He loved Pokemon. And I'm trying to, I hate speculating, but I was trying to think of, could it be possible that that generation, when they move forward, that they get back into a love that they had, like we did with sports cards? A lot of us say, well, we want to get our kid into it. I had a kid, he's old enough to learn about it. I want to reintroduce him to, I want to bring that love I had as an 8, 9, 10-year-old to my child. I want to show them what I did as a collector, what I enjoyed collecting, all of that stuff. Well, those late 90s, they were more Pokemon, like Vesture mentioned, Magic the Gathering. That stuff kind of took over. And that's why sports cards kind of slimmed out. I said it around 96, 97. I kind of stopped. And then, will those people get that same re-interest into those Pokemon cards or those Magic cards like we did with sports cards? Will they try to introduce their kids into Pokemon? Will they try to introduce their kids to Magic? That sort of thing. It's something to think about, because the demographic of people that you hear that got back into collecting is very large. And could history repeat itself with the gaming card community? Could it be something worth picking up? Could they start going crazy? That market regaining it. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know much about them, but if you look at some of them Charizard things, they're pricey. He might be the Mickey Mantle of Pokemon or something. I don't know. But his prices are up there. So it was just something I thought about. I don't know if that market will do what sports cards did, but if the trend followed, look at toys that our kids, like, we grew up with stuff and now they're re-releasing it for our kids to play with, and it's almost like everything just keeps recycling itself. So it'll be interesting to see, but we're coming up, we're in 2020. That puts that group at about 21 right now. Um, 24, 25 for probably the Magic. I can't remember exactly when Magic came out. So in a few years, you might see that market have a surge. You already had the Pokemon Go thing. I mean, that kind of bumped the interest in Pokemon. And then that kind of phased out and it came back and all that sort of stuff. My real curiosity will be is if it has the same resurgence, the same re-interest, if people find a love for a hobby they had when they were a teenager to try to pass on to their kids. So that would be very interesting to see. I do remember Pogs, Carolina. But, it was just something I thought about. Now, I don't know nothing about them. I'm not going to sit here and give y'all Pokemon buying advice. I'm not going to pretend to know about it. Maybe it could be a Sunday conversation that I could do with somebody, or maybe a Saturday conversation since the NFL's back, with somebody that does know Pokemon. Because I'm not even going to pretend I know anything about it. The only thing I do know is Charizard is expensive as hell, and I can look prices up. That's not hard to do. But do I know anything about it? No. But I do know it's obviously been popular. If it's still out today, it has a similar market like sports cards. It has price guides. It has grading. It has all of that stuff. So I'm just real curious if that market will resurge back like it did with sports cards, and if those people will start coming back into that market to regain the love for a hobby they had. So it was just something to think about. Guys, the vintage, there is more on the way. Don't be surprised. I have been on a click spree. So I like it. Sean, I'm going to tell you, go look up the 99 Charizard Shadowless or Hollow or whatever the heck it's called. You don't even have to have a high grade in that thing. It is expensive. Even in a low grade is actually hell with it. Let's pull one up. Let's go ahead and pull one up. I don't know which one it is. I think it's Shadowless or something. Let's see, PSA 3. I don't know what I was looking at earlier. Right here's one, 1300 or best offer. Look for first edition Hollow. I knew it was something I was looking at earlier, but I couldn't remember what it was. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I knew it was something crazy. Yeah, right there's a PSA 1. PSA 1 4000 or best offer. PSA 9, 50,000 or best offer. BGS 9.5, 80,000. There's another PSA 1, 4,000. PSA 4, 6,000. A 2 for 5,000. And look at the watchers. I mean, it's not like this stuff's just sitting here. Let's go to completed. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, there was a PSA 1 that sold. There was a 6 that sold for 6,200. $27,000. $9,100. I mean, $1,200. It's crazy. So I don't know much about it. I just know the Charizard thing is huge money. I don't know much about any of the other stuff. And it was something when I got to thinking about how many people come back in to sports cards, and you hear them say, I collected when I was young and I regained that love for it. And I was thinking about my brother, and there's a picture at Christmas 1999. We're sitting on the floor in the living room at my mom's house, and he's leaned up against me, and all that boy had for Christmas that year was Pokemon stuff. And I was thinking, you know, my brother would have been, 31 years old this year. And I sit here and look at these 35-year-olds that got back into cards. I was like, 4 years from now, my brother would have been 35. If he had a kid, and that's what he grew up with, I wonder if he would have regained that interest to try to share what he enjoyed when he was younger. And maybe to gain that interest back. And I'll be honest, I think some people say their kid is the reason, but they really just like it. They want to get back into it. So it's just something I thought about, guys. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But I guess we'll see. So anyway, something to think about. Guns, there actually is, man. There actually is. Let me find it. German. It's called Spanish. There you go, Guns. The Spanish set. It's only 27 grand, bro. $27,000, you got it. There's Charmeleon, Charmander. 27,000, you can have it, man. Well, actually, you're gonna have to find out who got it, but anyway, yeah, they're in different languages. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I will do a part 2, possibly a part 3. I'm waiting on more stuff to come in. I think a bunch is supposed to be here tomorrow. Let me check real quick. I think a bunch is supposed to be either tomorrow or Friday, some Saturday. So we'll see how it goes. See how things trickle in with the postal service. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like the stuff that was picked up. I know it's different, but it's fun, and I think it's something that's gonna last for the future. So I'll still buy, grade, sell, all that kind of stuff, collect some modern. I ain't going away from that, but what's up with the gram? What gram? I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a good night. Let's knock Thursday out. I hope everybody out there that is in the crazy areas, down south, over west, and everywhere else in the world, I hope y'all all stay safe, away from the hurricane, the fires, and all of the other nonsense that is out there in this world. But anyway, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.